Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Board of Commissioners, City of Bowling Green, Kentucky, regular meeting, City Hall, June 4th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. We're going to begin with an invocation and a pledge of allegiance. I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Dana Beasley Brown.
Mayor, I would like to invite up Reverend Sales. He really needs no introduction because he is just an amazing part of our community, but if you haven't had the chance to get to know him, I do want to read a little bit of his bio. He has been the pastor of Loving Springs Baptist Church for the last 21 years, and Pastor Sales has served in many capacities throughout Bowling Green and Warren County, and his most recent community ministry assignment was at Western Kentucky University, where he serves as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Ambassador for Christ, character coach, and chaplain for the Western Kentucky University football team and coaches. And Pastor Sales, he is also retired where he served for 20 years as the occupancy specialist at the Housing Authority. And he is, of course, married to Dr. Martha Sales at WKU, and they have two kids, Seth and Kaya, who also reside here in Bowling Green. And I invited Dr. Sales to come and give our invocation because he has also, for the last 3 years, served as a chaplain for our Bowling Green Police Department. And June is PTSD Awareness Month, and he is right in there with the trenches with our police department, being there to support them when they show up, when it's someone's worst day, and there to be with families when they get a death notification. And so, Reverend Sales, if you would come and lift up those in our community who have been through those hard times and have those effects that keep happening after we go through things, and lift us up in prayer. So if everyone would stand for invocation. Thank you.
Let's pray. Eternal God, our Father, we come before you now in the precious and powerful name of Jesus. We acknowledge that every good and every perfect gift has come from you. But God, in the midst of being blessed by you, we also live in a world that is full of trouble. And God, we need your leadership. We need your guidance. We need your direction. God, we ask for your wisdom even on today as we seek to serve this community. We come not to lean to our own understanding, but in all our ways we come to acknowledge you, and you promise that you would direct our paths. And some of those who, Father God, invest the most in this community are our first responders. And Father God, they see so much, they invest so much, they carry so much. But I pray, God, that as they pour out to others, that you would pour back into them. I pray, Father God, that their homes would be healthy and not sacrificed because of their sacrifice. I pray, Holy God, that their children would be healthy and everything that you've assigned to their hands to do, that you would prosper it. I pray, Father God, for our time in this meeting. I pray, Father God, that you would lead, guide, and direct, that every decision that will be made, every conclusion that we come to would work toward the betterment of this community, that we might come closer together, and Father God, that we might represent you in the way of love and peace and kindness toward one another. Bless us, Father, and we'll forever give you the praise, the honor, and glory. We ask these prayers and blessings now in Jesus' name. Amen.
If everyone will join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Beasley Brown. Thank you, Commissioner Reverend Sean Sales. Mr. Meisel, Mrs. Jackson, can you please provide a roll call?
Commissioner Beasley Brown. Here. Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Perigin.
Here.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Mayor Alcott.
Here. All right, Mr. Meisel, do you have comments at this time?
Mayor, like to thank all those that worked during the storms last weekend, our utility companies, Public Works, police, fire, another great team effort to get us through that and get us recovering. Public Works, as you know, is going to be out picking up debris here starting, I think, on the 10th, and that'll be handled by your zone, like leaf pickup. And there'll be one round of that, and hopefully we'll get everything out of the right of ways and cleaned up from the storm. So want to thank everybody that helped out with that, and it went pretty smooth. Secondly, my usual comment, if you have public comments to make, please sign the register in the back of the room, and we'll take those up after regular session.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel. And just note, our Public Works team, that was a holiday weekend, and they came in and they made things happen and cleaned up our community and got our streets cleared and our utilities, worked around the clock to get major utilities back up and power. And we're grateful to our partners with PGMU and Warren County Public, our rural, WRECC. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Public Works Week extends to all those.
And it was Public Works Appreciation Month.
It was Public Works Appreciation Week and month. And I showed our appreciation by saying, go help us. And they did. All right, so our next item is approval of meeting minutes for May 21st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Any discussion at this time? It's none. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-99.
Municipal order approving the career path advancement of Josh Johnson to the position of fire equipment technician in the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I'd like to ask Lori Gray, one of our HR managers, to come up and make this recommendation. Lori?
Or good afternoon, I guess. I'm here to recommend the promotion of Josh Johnson in the Fleet Division of the Public Works Department. He is here with us, if you'll stand. Based on the completion of trainings and successfully passing all the required tests and a satisfactory promotional evaluation, Josh is being recommended for promotion to from Master Technician to Fire Equipment Technician. He's been employed with the City of Bowling Green since March of 2012 and has been with the Fleet Division since October 2017. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Josh, did you bring anyone with you, or are you by yourself tonight? Just myself. All right, well, we're going to make this official, and congratulations to you. Thank you very much. All right, roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Josh. Municipal order number 2024-100.
Municipal order approving the promotion of Rachel Haley to the position of Office Associate 2 in the Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I'd like to ask Tiara Britt, our other HR manager, to come up and make this recommendation. Tiara?
Good evening. We would like to recommend the promotion for Rachel Haley. She's been with us for a little over 2 years, so she took the test and had exemplary scores. So we would like to promote her to Office Associate 2. But in addition to that, Rachel interviewed for the Office Associate position with our police department. So starting Monday of next week, she will be moving to police as their new Office Associate 2. So Rachel's here with us this evening, if she would stand.
Oh. By yourself? I see you have Deputy Penny Bowles next to you. And we see Brian Harrell as well, so congratulations on the new position. All right. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Rachel. Municipal order number 2024-101.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Rahel Morfin Castillo to the position of International Community Navigator in the Neighborhood and Community Services Department.
So moved.
I'll move, I'll second that, and you can take it a second. I'll first it and you second. Since I didn't hear anyone else. Good. All right. Okay. Mr. Mizel?
This is a recently created position up at NCS, and I'd like to ask Lori Gray to come up and make the recommendation for the fill of this position that was vacated not too long ago. Lori.
Hello again. So I'm here to recommend Rael Morfin Castillo, I think I got it right, be appointed to the position of International Community Navigator in the Neighborhood Community Services Department, Department. She has graduated from Bowling Green High School and attended Western Kentucky University. She speaks Spanish and English, and her most recent employer was Chick-fil-A, where she was a manager team leader. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Here? Oh, and you brought your family with you tonight. Well, we'd love you to have you introduce your family, please. Well, we're welcome. Hang on, we're going to approve you here in a second, commissioners.
Beautiful that you have your family here. Congratulations.
Got to meet you at the BG Festival, and that was a wonderful event, and Leda introduced us to you and your family, and good to see y'all here tonight. All right, we're going to make this official, so roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Ray out. Municipal Order Number 2024-102.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Lori Epperson to the position of Office Associate 1 in the Public Works Department.
So moved.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
While Lori's coming up, it would be not good if I didn't mention the retirement of Pam Hurt that started this domino effect out at Ops, and she retired last week, and we're going to miss Pam. She had lots of years of great service to the Ops division. Farah took her place, went from admin Public Works over to Ops, and so now we have to replace Farah's position over next door in Public Works admin, and I'm going to let Lori make the recommendation for that. Lori?
To recommend Lori Epperson to be appointed to the position of Office Associate 1 in the Public Works Department. And she is here with us this evening, if you want to stand. She graduated from AGAP Christian Academy and is pursuing a business management degree from WKU and SkyCTC. Her most current position was a full-time business owner. She also worked for the City of Bowling Green as an office associate from 2014 to 2015. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Lord, you have anyone with you tonight? Hello. You can wave at us. That way we see in TV when you go home. That's important. So, all right. Well, you can stand next to your mom proud tonight. There you go. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, we're going to make this official for your mom. So roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Lori. Municipal Order Number 2024-103.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Anthony Brown to the position of Parks Facility Maintainer 1 in the Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
By Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
We had a vacancy that was created due to a promotion in parks maintenance, and I'm going to let Tiara come back up and recommend our new person for this position. Tiara?
So we would like to recommend Anthony Brown. He is a graduate of Bowling Green High School. He also has his associate's degree in business admin and accounting. But most recently, before Anthony joined our team, he was a maintenance technician at Mammoth Cave National Park, where he got a lot of his maintenance experience. He's been both a seasonal and part-time employee for us for the past 2 years, and he is our second in command, our go-to. So we got a lot of plans for Anthony. So hopefully, you know, he'll do great things for us. But he's not here with us tonight, but we would like to recommend him for this appointment.
Thank you, Tiara. Okay, questions? None at this time. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, and congratulations to Anthony. You're out there listening. We know you are. All right. Municipal Order Number 2024-104.
Municipal order approving amendments to the Administrative Personnel Policy and Procedures Manual.
Second.
By Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Perigin. Mr. Mizel.
Try to keep our personnel policy and procedures manual up to date, and so we usually bring you an amendment each year. This is the one for the upcoming fiscal year 25, or calendar 2024. This is mostly a cleanup, removal of some areas that no longer are applicable. We have added some appendices, is that how you say that, to the document for various career paths and promotional procedures. Aaron's also provided more clarification on some language throughout the document. And then we also had legal review done by KLC staff, and we have incorporated some of their comments and their recommendations as well throughout the document. There is a nice attached summary in your packets that Erin Holsey, our HR director, prepared, and she is here to answer any questions you might have on this. I think we sent this out to you a little early to give you some extra time to look over. Hopefully that gave you plenty of time to review, but we are here to try to answer any questions you might have on this.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Aaron, for being here. Commissioners, questions at this time?
Thank you, and especially for the part where you're giving flexibility around parental leave. That's just wonderful, and making it a place for all of our employees to thrive and be their best and have that family life and work balance. And so just thank you for thinking about our employees as whole persons and really helping them navigate those wonderful life moments that are also a little bit chaotic and may not always the time you need may not always be exactly in a linear fashion. So thank you all so much for taking care of our employees.
Questions? None at this time. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-105.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2024-28 for fiscal year 2024 sidewalk construction from Baker Contracting of Alvaton, Kentucky, in an amount not to exceed $920,003.95.
So moved.
By Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
Now that the weather is getting better, we are ready to take on the sidewalk projects that we had planned for this current fiscal year, FY24. There are about 4 of them planned that we bid out. The first one is the sidewalk along sections of Riverwood Avenue from Fairview to 31W Bypass, Rhodes Drive from Ridgecrest Way to Loving Way, Creekwood Avenue from Russellville Road to Spring Creek Avenue, and then Morgantown Road from Loop Drive to Old Morgantown Road, Loop Street, and then finally Rockingham Lane from Karen Avenue to the BGHS South entrance, which I believe would be near the baseball field. This will include all excavation, sidewalk construction, ADA compliant ramps, handicap ramps, drive entrance construction, drainage improvements, crosswalk installations, and all total, it's about 5,500 linear feet of new sidewalk. We bid it out, 3 bids. Lowest and best bid we are recommending is from Baker Contracting for $920,003.95. Melissa Kanzler, our city engineer, is here, can answer any questions you might have on these projects. Recommend your approval.
Thank you, Jeff. Would the sidewalk next to Bowling Green High School be finished prior to the school opening in the fall? Hi, Melissa.
This part along Rockingham is just from Karen around the curve to that south entrance, but we can try to get that one in on the early end. All of these may be done. It just depends on how aggressive and the weather. I'm not sure what we've put in the contract for time frame, but we could focus on that one. Riverwood was going to be our first priority because we had already milled that to pave. But then we found out BGMU has a project, so we don't want to do anything until they get out of our way and cut the street up and do all that. So we'll make sure to get that done this summer.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
I just want to say how excited I am about these particular projects. The sidewalk program and what we're going to connect neighborhoods to is so exciting, with one connecting a neighborhood to a grocery store, two next to schools, so connecting neighborhoods to schools so kids can walk to school safely, and then roads, that I know a lot of folks want to connect to the roundabout and to WKU to run and bike, and so just expanding our access to our neighborhoods for pedestrians and bicyclists to really just improve quality of life. So I'm just really excited about these sidewalks and just look forward to them getting completed. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? None at this time. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-106.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2024-47 for Clear Lane Enhanced De-Icer from Cargill, Inc. of North Olmsted, Ohio, in the amount of $139.52 per ton.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
We are well stocked right now on de-icer, given the mild winter, but it's always better to try to procure de-icer in June than December. And so we went out and asked for bids. We got two, Cargill Inc. and A&E Trucking LLC, and the best one was from Cargill Inc. For $139.52 a ton. So we have locked in that price. It's good till July 1 of 2025. So any de-icer that we need in the meantime, we can just order up, replacing what we need. So we are fully stocked, though, with 2,000 tons of de-icer currently. So we're going to press the pause button and wait until we need some, and this will be ready to go when we need it. So we'll try to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Commissioners? No questions at this time. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-107.
Municipal order authorizing the acceptance of an award for Kentucky Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Funding from the Kentucky Department for Local Government in the amount of $17,192.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
You all may remember us bringing this request to apply for this grant not too long ago. It's for a business that was destroyed pretty much by the 2021 tornado on the bypass. It's the Umoja International Market, LLC, just off 31W bypass that offered African food, clothing, and other groceries. They experienced substantial amount of building damage and damaged goods, and were forced to completely cease operations for nearly 2 months and did not reopen until March of 22. We applied for the CDBG-DR funding. There was a piece, part of that program was for last resort funding for small businesses, and we were able to get $17,192 that will go to Umoja International Market. And I'd like to thank Nick Cook for working on this and being able to get this money for this small business that was affected by our tornado. And Nick's here, can answer any questions you might have.
I want to thank you as well. We know, like, that tornado, destroyed a lot of businesses, especially where it was at, in that area. But especially when it's a small business that's also niche, that can destroy it completely. And 2 months is, a long time for that family, a long time for those business owners. So having that is giving them a lifeline to continue their business and to grow it. So thank you for even getting that for that family and that business owner.
I failed to mention there was $100 million that HUD set aside after the tornado that went to the state of Kentucky, and you'll see that throughout tonight's agenda. That's the source of the funding.
I'm hoping that they did. Do we know, Sean Weeks, I see you back there, if they applied for the initiative that we set for small businesses for the rebate on their property tax the next 5 years and their rebate on their occupational tax for their employees?
I had the same thought going in my head as soon as they were written. I can't say for
Okay.
certain. The name doesn't sound super familiar, but I can definitely check and provide that information to you guys, so.
They may not have known. and-
Yeah, and we try to, we try to keep it open for the 2 years for the applications as much as possible, and we had quite a bit of activity with that, but I can check and provide that information to you guys.
I'd like to follow up on that, just
Yep,
so we
sure
could
can.
look at it holistically. If we need to make a decision, we could make that decision. So, thank you, Sean.
Problem. Thank you all.
All right. Good info, good effort, and this is awesome. Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-108.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of an application to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for Transportation Alternatives Program funds in the amount of $205,876.
moved.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
Public Works and Neighborhood and Community Services Departments collaboratively would like to request to apply for this TAP grant for 205,876. It's an 80-20 match. Setup, a match would be $51,469. The funds would be used for the design and installation of a greenway connecting Jennings Creek Elementary and Moss Middle School to Warren Elementary and Warren Central High Schools. This would, of course, expand our current greenway that we've installed from Jennings Creek Elementary to Green Hill Street and take it from there. So this would be an 8-foot concrete shared use path along Veterans Memorial at the starting at intersection of Hickory Street, and then the proposed Green Hill extension that we're going to do across Veterans there that connects. Would be roughly 1,100 feet of shared use greenway path, starting there at the new Keystone Commons development. So again, Nick Cook is here, can answer your questions. There is a map in your packets that kind of shows the yellow piece that would be pertaining to this funding if we were to get it. It'll be highlighted in yellow, I believe, on your map in your packet. But Nick's here, can answer any of your questions.
I appreciate this as well. How soon will this be finished if we are able to get the funding? How long will it take to get it completed?
So one of the good things about the Transportation Alternatives Program is it has a lot of funding available. One of the negative things about it is a very slow program. So I would say it would take several years before this project would be complete. So, sorry, that's about the best I could answer.
Honest, and I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Nick. Definitely falls within our vision and line of continued paths for greenways. Okay, no further discussion. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-109.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of an application to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for Transportation Alternatives Program funds in the amount of $440,000.
Moved.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
So we want to tap another TAP grant here. You can see the common theme here. We want to go after this $440,000. We would match it with $110,000. This would be used for a 5-foot sidewalk along Three Springs Road. There's a map in your packets. Runs along Three Springs Road between, if I can read it here, Wheatstone Avenue and then the Fieldstone Farms Boulevard, or Fieldstone Boulevard. It is roughly 3,500 linear feet of 5-foot right-of-way of sidewalk. And again, we recommend your approval. Nick's here, can answer any of your questions. 80-20 split, 440 grant, 110 match.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions at this time? Okay, none. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-110.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of a grant application for funding through the 2024 Community-Oriented Policing Services Hiring Program from the U.S. Department of Justice in an amount up to $125,000.
Second.
By Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Dana Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
I'd like to apply for the COPS grant. This is a community-oriented policing services hiring program from the Department of Justice. It's a federal grant. Match is okay, but it would be a $125,000 grant. We would need to match it with 64%, so the grant's worth 36%. Match would be approximately $226,111 to get to the total of $351,111. This would be go towards the hiring of an additional police officer to complement our current staffing plan. Deputy Chief Bowles and Deputy Chief Harrell are here, can answer any of your questions you might have on this grant, as well as Nick Cook.
Questions? The question I have is normally we see 2 at this opportunity. Is that diminishing, or is this all we can get?
Take that one. It has to be pretty specific, so.
Yes, whenever we apply for these COP grants, we have to meet one of the different priorities for funding. In the past, we have tried to, build legitimacy and trust. That's one of the priorities. Homeland Security's been another. This year, we're trying to go after a little bit more innovative approach where we would be hiring a full-time officer to assist with our recruitment efforts to hopefully be able to, raise our complement. So that's why
It's specific, and that's each time we have to go during a different route. I understand.
Right, the first few times we applied, it's been for 4 officers at a time, so this one's a little unique where we only went after 1, but it was for this, niche purpose, so.
Thank you. Okay, no further questions. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-111.
Municipal order authorizing the acceptance of an award in contract for state and local cybersecurity grant funds through the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security for a password management system and security assessment for the Information Technology Department in the amount of $165,500.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
I'm really happy about this grant that we are here to accept. First of all, I'd like to thank Danita for all her work. Imagine having your house attempted to be broke in every single day, relentlessly, over and over and over again. That's what IT deals with on a daily basis. People are constantly trying to break into our system. Cybersecurity is always our #1 priority. I preached it to our past IT director. Danita and I always talk about it on a regular basis, and Danita's always kept it at the top of her priorities and her responsibilities, so I want to thank her for that. But we are very fortunate to get this grant because things can change very quickly. You see reports in the news of cities getting hacked and ransomed all the time, and fortunately, knock on wood, we have not had to deal with that, and so I'm thankful for that. But this grant here this money will go a long way to helping secure our system with a password manager. A lot of people keep passwords on scraps of paper and everywhere, you name it. I'm not going to tell you how I keep mine, but this system will help all of our city employees to keep our passwords, and you all as well, to keep them in a secured system. And Danita can answer any questions you might have on this, but wholeheartedly recommend we accept this $165,500.
Great, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions at this time?
Mr. Mizel, if you don't mind, if you'll explain to our citizens, and I can't remember the name of the publication where Danita was featured, but I don't think our citizens realize how fortunate our city is to have Danita in this position and how safe she's keeping our IT department. So,
Stump me on the
I
name
am so sorry.
of the magazine.
Danita knows what it is.
It's It's
Is
a
it-
one word. Toggle.
Toggle.
Toggle magazine. She was featured.
She was the cover
Was
girl
that
in the magazine.
April or March? April.
But it was a fascinating, I was so honored to know she's on our staff, so thank you, Donita.
Ditto.
I'll just brag. We're ahead of the game in most municipal government IT departments, and I'm very thankful for that. We wouldn't be where we are without IT. So thank you. Keep it up.
Danita, I do have a question, but first, congratulations. I have a question. We know like AI is here, you know, because AI is making it a little bit easier. So I appreciate every time we're, you know, funding these cybersecurity type things, because we're knowing that it's making it a whole lot easier for people to hack into systems. So I appreciate you having these things, but how will this, I guess, moving forward, when people are using AI to kind of hack, will stop like those things are happening?
Sure. There is no way to stop, right? It is what we can do to prevent and put as many roadblocks as we can in between bad actors and the threats that we have out there. So this particular grant funding is going to help us in two ways. One of those is what we mentioned is the password manager. Users have endless, you guys know, endless things to remember, right? And all the systems that we have. So typically what users do is create very short, simple passwords. And they write down their passwords and they use the same password across everything. So with AI, with automating, you can crack those passwords, a short, simple password, in a few seconds. The longer and more complex your password is, the longer it takes. And then we can require more complex passwords because our users won't have to remember those. They're encrypted, and this password management system will allow them access to that encrypted password on the fly. It can even generate passwords on the fly so that they're not having to remember a short, simple one that has to stick up here, but they have a tool in their pocket, on their cell phone, on their web browser that they can actually automate and generate a password. So it's going to help in that way. Also, a second part of this grant that really wasn't discussed but is in your memo is we're actually going to be doing a full penetration testing. We're going to actually have an external vendor come in and kind of throw some of those attacks and, you know, a lot of AI, a lot of automation, a lot of those threats that we're seeing, have them actually kind of review our systems, do some social engineering testing, do some testing of our end users to ensure that we're doing all that we can and kind of identify any weaknesses or vulnerabilities that we may have that we can prepare in the future. And each day is just trying to do a little bit better. That's the best that we can do.
Is there a way to use biometrics? But, you know, by using biometrics, some systems, what they have is that it generates, kind of like what you just said, it'll generate a new password each and every time, but it's connected to like either your eyes or your finger or something.
Yeah, and so there's multiple ways that we're doing that. You want to have multi-factor authentication, and there's multiple versions of that, right? So that can be, we use a tool called Cisco Duo, but there's multiple tools even within that, whether that's a phone call or whether you can actually have key codes. We can have key codes that we can purchase. You can use biometrics on your phone. There's a lot of different options that we can use, and this grant is just going to give us the funding to start to research and start to get the best tools that we can to support our end users and make sure that we're being more secure in our day-to-day work.
Thank you, and again, congratulations and stuff for everything that you're doing here.
Yeah, I have a great staff that backs me up, and they're the true heroes. They don't get the credit they deserve. And also thanks to Nick for the grant money.
Right.
Should have Thank Nick Day. Declare it as a holiday for the city and Warren County.
I agree, Mayor.
We agree. I
Let's
think
do
we all
that.
agree.
Nick's buying.
Thank you,
grant.
Danita. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2024-12, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance adopting annual city budget. Ordinance adopting the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky annual operating budget for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025, by estimating revenues and appropriating funds for the operation of city government.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
So I'll give you kind of a quick 60-second rundown of the budget. How about that? Maybe 120 seconds. We'll see.
Go for it.
So, and then you all can speak and ask questions. But for those of y'all attending tonight, thank you for coming. This is our FY25 proposed budget. This will be all funds budget of $176 million, which includes some transfers in, transfers out of $28 million. But our general fund budget this year will be $107,296 million, $107,296,000. And this will be our first full year with our 2% occupational tax that we'll see the full year of. That returns us back to the 2004 occupational tax rate. Thank you for that. It also includes, we'll go to a 25% minimum fund balance that equates to $26.8 million for anything that comes up, or a rainy day, or a 3-month worth of savings for anything disastrous. Also includes $16.4 million in capital spending, which is 15% of our general fund budget. That's probably our high point with capital in a good while. Also, we have in this budget of $1.3 million going to our contract agencies that were submitted requests. Also included is a $1.6 million for our 3.4% COLA to our employees as well as you all. As you know, we also did a reset of Schedule G for general employees, and that reset along with the Schedule D was $2.1 million to get everyone up to a $20 minimum per hour for full-time work. Also, we have roughly $1.6 million in new positions included in this budget with a few reclasses. And then finally, our personnel budget, all in all, we were able to hold that to under 61%, 60.8% of our general fund budget. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. You all received our video that we made back at the beginning of May or mid-May. Hopefully you got to watch that. That is out for the public's viewing as well now. And then you also got our budget book, concise, hopefully concise review of our budget. And then probably the one thing that we started doing that's very valuable is this budget in brief document that gives you just the high points of our budget, gives you breakdown by our strategic plan, the category strong neighborhoods, transportation, city employee development, housing development, efficient governance, downtown development, riverfront and greenways, as well as other significant projects. I am happy to say that we are well over budget, well over $7 million in housing development funding for housing assistance, affordable housing. That includes our Housing Choice Voucher Program. We are also about $2.75 million in transportation. We're roughly $3.4 million in neighborhoods. We are also about $3 million in let me back up. Downtown development also includes significant money. Riverfront and greenways is where it's at, $5.4 million in the FY25 budget. And then there's some other significant capital improvement projects that involve stormwater rehabilitation, storm sewers that are breaking down, along with some networking and furnishings of the new public safety building up on Porter Pike for police and fire. That all totals roughly $4.5 million. So again, $107.3 million general fund budget and $176.4 overall all funds budget. And Katie is here. We've got a few department heads here that can answer any questions you might have on this FY25 budget.
I just want to restate, when we were looking at the occupational tax, we forecasted at that time that we were going to put a significant amount into our personnel and pay first look was going to be our first responders, and I'm proud of that work, but I know that came with a cost, and I think that number was around 6.8 million additional, and I just want to thank the entire staff for the work that has gone into right-size the pay that's needed to have a successful city that can sustain the level of growth that we're undergoing, and that includes pay for our employees. So thank you for that. Again, it's one that makes you gulp when you see the numbers. However, the revenue's there, and that's what's important. We're not borrowing to build a city or sustain a city. We are containing and sustaining, and I'll say even we are taking it to the next level. And so I'm really excited about what this means for the future of Bowling Green, and thank you for the work that's gone into this.
I'd love to echo the thanks to the staff for putting together this budget. It's always amazing how you take every dollar. It's very overwhelming. You think about the scope of what the city of Bowling Green is doing for our community, and the fact that you do make it to where a citizen can pick up in bite-sized amounts and really understand the full picture of how we are being stewards of the tax dollars that we receive. And I'm just so grateful that we have folks like you who can make complicated math into something that we can all be inspired by. And I want to just kind of share some things I'm excited about in this budget. And thank you all, and echoing the mayor, just being able to raise that starting wage for our employees, that we know we can ensure that our employees can have a good quality of life, is something I'm super proud of in this budget. Again, echoing the mayor and paying down our debt and not taking on new debt and continuing to be good stewards of those taxpayer dollars. The police and fire training center and getting close to completion with these, putting in the technology and the furniture. So I'm excited to hear maybe when we think we might be moving in potentially. Putting in new fire stations in those areas of growth that are getting, if we're getting further behind in our response times because of the growth in those areas, and being able to put in new fire stations. And then our parks, there are so many amazing things happening in parks, including the Riverfront Park. That's just going to be so amazing. If folks haven't got a chance to go to the website to see what's going to be happening down at the riverfront with whitewater, being able to get into the river, being able to walk through trees and play with kids and picnic and everything. And then, we have talked a lot about making our parks accessible for all of our kids, and the fact that two parks, Parker Bennett Center and Reservoir Hill, are going to have ADA accessible playground equipment and a new smooth surface that's going to make our parks accessible to kids is just super exciting. And then to me, one of the things I'm most excited about is the new turf soccer fields going in at Lover's Lane. And knowing that if you go on a Saturday or really any weeknight, it is just covered in kids of all ages and parents and grandparents, and just knowing we're continuing to invest in park amenities that our families and our citizens need and use. And I'm just super excited for our community for all these ways that you all are improving quality of life, keeping us safe, and just doing that in a way that is efficient and being such good stewards of taxpayer dollars. So I just want to thank you all so much.
Can I say a word?
Yeah, Commissioners, this is our opportunity.
I agree with everything that Commissioner Brown has said, and it's wonderful to see our community thriving. I actually did a presentation today for some high school students across the Commonwealth that came to Western for a camp. They're seniors in high school, so they're thinking through. And one of the themes that they wanted to know all about us is how are we growing like we're growing? What's the secret sauce in Bowling Green, Kentucky? Well, it's all of those things that we make our community very livable, very affordable. And so I want to say thank you to the budget. And the video is wonderful, by the way. That's just a wonderful way to present to us a complicated set of documents that simplifies it very, very well. And I do think that Sean needs to be in radio or something. His voice is so good. But, and to our agency funding, I want to say thank you. I see Tommy Loving here from our Drug Task Force. And, you know, one of the major reasons for our quality of life is that as I presented the dollar bill that everybody has seen and how we cut up our dollar bill, it's no accident that 49 cents of every dollar goes to public safety. And that speaks volumes about who we are in this community and what we value, because I think our most important job is to keep our community safe. And that goes with Public Works and our parks, and all of our divisions somehow tie into that. But 49 cents, I guess it's still ringing true. So roughly, goes to public safety. Now I want the folks that are listening out there or might see this in the future to stop and really think about that. Almost 50 cents, almost half of every single dollar that we bring in for taxes goes to keep our community safe. Police and fire. And Tommy, you're a big part of that in keeping, you know, the illicit substances at bay. I realize we cannot get rid of all of that, but man, your board, I'm on your board, and I appreciate it. And thank you for caring enough to come tonight and make sure the agency funding gets out there. So that's what I have to say, and I thank everybody involved in this process.
I'd just like to also thank the budget team and senior management for taking time to explain it to each of us, the importance of this budget. I have been amazed since this has been presented to all of us, the number of employees that have thanked me. They're so excited and they're thankful, so thankful for this increase. So thank you for bringing this to our attention and being willing to write it for our employees. I'm so thankful for that. Thank you very much.
Carlos, you can bring us home.
I want to echo everything that they said. One of the things I'm excited about is the Riverfront Park. But even though we're investing in these riverfront parks, you know, some of the things we're also looking at is workforce housing and stuff, and those things that we've been trying to get done, and I know we're going to talk about it later. But helping out our workers that's working for the city is more important. Because if you can't help out the workers who work for the city, how can we work and look towards the city itself? We know that people who work here, we got to make sure that they have a place that they can stay, they can afford certain things, they can help out their children, and their children may even go into college. So it's important to build that future for them, to build the future for Bowling Green. Our economy, I was looking at it, and I appreciate everything that you have done, Katie, because you have made it very easy for someone who's coming in here and learning how to look at these things. And I've learned each and every year. And you've made those videos, and then you go through this one, and then you go through this book, and then you go back. And I actually downloaded the video and actually watched it probably about 2 or 3 different times, to be honest with you. So it helped out because I know more about the economy of Bowling Green. I know how like 61% is going towards basically looking at the personnel. And we know without having the personnel, this city does not run. Regardless of all 5 of us, and I believe all 5 of us agree on this, is that long after us being here, we want to make sure the city, at least I want to make sure the city's going to run for my children and one day for my grandchildren, because I want Bowling Green to be successful, and I want to make sure that we have a strong economy. And when I asked you, Katie, it was like, did we have to cut any services? And not one single service has been cut. And since 2021, our economy has been growing and has been getting stronger. And we know we have a lot of workforce housing that we still need to do. But at the same time, I believe that what we have done has been it's going to be an investment for this city that's going to help out not just the workers of the city, but the people who live here. So I appreciate everyone that is here and everyone that you guys, because I want to make sure when I came and worked, when I basically ran for office, I wanted to make sure that people who are working for the city had a basically livable wage. And now we know that we may not be where we are at, but we know that you're at least a little bit better. And I'm so appreciative that I got to vote on that. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys here.
Very nice. Okay, commissioners, this is a big item.
And
Katie, please, yes.
I want to thank very specifically Aaron Ballou and Sean Weeks, they're here in the back of the room, And I also want to thank all of the finance staff that help put this budget together, because it could not be done without their help. And I apologize. I'm having some
It's PTSD
issues.
coming through.
So the budget is really their efforts. I help, but they are really the ones that put it all together. So thank you for your comments.
It's another award-winning budget, Katie. You'll be getting
Award-winning.
another award.
I'd like to make one more announcement that just happened yesterday.
Big one, right?
And it's a big one. I should have announced at the beginning. It pertains to affordable housing. It was announced yesterday that of the tornado money that was allocated for the 4 counties, and I can't, Graves, Hopkins, Warren, and what's the 4th one? It's Dawson Springs, maybe. Anyway, there's going to be 900 and some affordable housing units built with $220 some million that was spread out over those 4 counties. And Warren County locked down 635 units yesterday that will be built here in Warren County that will be affordable thanks to Kentucky Housing Corporation, thanks to Department of Local Government. And your ARPA earmark of $2 million for affordable housing, 1.5 million of that will be tied into that, and Nick can explain better than I can, but that was all leveraged to pull that, what we got yesterday, the money that was given to those 5 developers, one of which was Walbuck and 4 other ones. So yesterday's announcement was huge, probably the biggest giveaway for housing ever in the state, and we were the recipients of 635 of those units out of the 900 and something. So that's not really part of this budget, but it's going to go a long way toward our housing issues and getting us caught up with affordable housing. So
I believe it's
thank
just
you,
shy
Nick.
of-
Thank you to Brent Childers for working on that as well. And we were very excited to hear that yesterday. So.
A big announcement from the governor. I know initially we had talked about it in some sessions and working sessions, and we were kind of calculating around 60 million as a proportional share. And then we came out with just shy, I think with our 1.5 in there, 134 million. That's insane. It's a lot of housing that can be built, and it can help people have sustainable living in our community, which is an issue. And we've seen that from opioid. That's why we put a lot of effort into our crisis center that we've got a new earmark for our Salvation Army Center. But across the board, this commission, the vision and the work is coming with our city management to fruition. So we're grateful on many counts, not grateful that we had a storm, but grateful that we can collaborate and come together to make something out of that. And I'm proud of the entire city staff. I know Brent Childers and his team, Nick, and many others have worked hard on that. And there was a team that came down from Kentucky, kind of given us that last look from, actually it was Housing and Urban Development at the national level, the state level, and kind of saying, can Bowling Green do this? And obviously they believe in us, so hooah, congratulations.
Mayor, can I just
Please.
piggyback on what you just
Sure.
said? Kind of just piggybacking on the mayor, what he was just saying, that I also believe like having workforce housing, it helps out. It helps out because sometimes it could be a family that at least 635, or how many units it's actually we're going to build here. It helps out someone that may not be able to take care of their medical bills, and they have to think, do I pay this as opposed to being able to pay this? And we know if you can have a house, it gives some type of dignity. And hopefully if they have affordable housing, hopefully one day they can actually go into a unit that they can own. So it just helps them out because they have to look at medical things, they have to look at for their children. It's a domino effect. So having those is going to help out a little bit, but even a little bit makes a dent a little bit. And hopefully we can move forward from it. But I think this is a great thing.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is a big item. I will tell the city we have one more public meeting in June to approve this. Please go on to our website, www.bgky.org. Is it specifically on the front page? I didn't see it there, but maybe we could get it on that following for the video.
Certainly on our YouTube page, there may be a link.
Because I know it goes to Vimeo, but if we can make sure that link's kind of front center for the public, it's a big item. And all right, no further questions or comments this time. Okay, roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-112.
Municipal order ratifying execution of declaration of a local state of emergency related to the high wind storm event on May 25th through the 26th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Meisel.
So as we mentioned earlier, there was a significant high wind and storm event May 25th and 26th. According to Ronnie Pearson, there were roughly 28 homes that were damaged to some extent in Warren County, Bowling Green, Warren County. Lots of tree damage, as you know, widespread power outages. So Ronnie, being the great director of Warren County Emergency Management he is, was looking ahead and knew that we were going to hit the FEMA threshold of $621,000 and that we needed to declare this local state of emergency declaration. And so the mayor did that, and according per KRS 39A, 3945A, the mayor can declare that, and it allows us to waive procedures, formalities pertaining to performance of public work, entering contracts, incurring obligations, temporary workers, voluntary workers, renting equipment even, and appropriation expenditure of public funds. And it's practice that we follow up and ratify this declaration by the full board at the next soonest Board of Commissioner meetings, and that's why we're here tonight. So I'd be glad to answer any questions like you have on this, but this is pretty much standard procedure. We are working on our damage, our amount, our claims, all of our numbers. I think Dave Weisbrot and Matt Power are working on that for our side. We do separate declarations to just keep it simple for Warren County and Bowling Green, so when it comes time for our audits, we can separate pretty easily and submit that separately. But Ronnie puts it all together, works on it with FEMA, works on it with the state emergency management department, and we get as much as we can back for our time and our expense.
Thank you, Mr. Meisel. Questions? Okay. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-113.
Municipal order approving construction and accepting maintenance of Springwater Cove subdivision Phase 1.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Perigin. Mr. Meisel.
Springwater Cove subdivision is out Russellville Road on your left going out. It's ready to be accepted into the city's infrastructure. City staff and planning and zoning staff went out and did final inspections here recently. There is a total of 5,337 linear feet of roadway with associated right-of-way and sidewalks, stormwater included with that. There are still some sidewalks that will be constructed later as individual lots are built out, but Melissa and her team, as well as Ben and his team, and Jacob Merriman at Planning Commission say everything's ready to go and ready to be accepted into city infrastructure. Melissa's here, can answer your questions on this.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Meisel. Questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-115.
114.
Sorry.
Municipal order approving construction and accepting maintenance of Keystone Commons subdivision.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
Keystone is the development kind of in the corner of Russellville Road and Veterans, kind of across from Whispering Hills, across Veterans Boulevard. This one requested to be accepted as well. Melissa and her team, as well as Jacob Merriman and Ben, their team, went out, inspected. Everything looked good. Did a final inspection on the 28th with all the punch items. Everything was completed. This one is 2,848 linear feet of street with sidewalk and storm sewer included. There are some stormwater basins out there that will be maintained privately by the property owners, and also the city has allowed the developers to give us a cash in lieu of amount for constructing the remaining sidewalk along Hickory Street, which we talked about earlier, which will be an 8-foot greenway path. So we're going to take that in lieu of money and put toward that project later. But this is all part of the connection with the greenways, and it'll be key in closing, that greenway gap through there. There is a map in your packets showing this development. Again, Melissa's here, can answer any questions you might have on accepting this development.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Commissioners, questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-115.
Municipal order approving a donation from United Way of Southern Kentucky for the construction of the Jennings Creek Natural Playground and Bourne Learning Trail.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
As you know, we're working on the Jennings Creek Nature Play Park, a very exciting project. Last August, we were fortunate to receive a generous donation of $343,500 from United Way to put toward this project, and $43,500 was to go toward the design with MKSK that's doing the project, and $300,000 was going toward the actual construction and the Bourne Learning Trail that will be down in that park. Fast forward, United Way is now coming to us and offering an additional donation. $100,000 would come directly to the city, and it would raise their contribution to $443,500, and then there would be an additional $50,000 paid directly to a contractor to build a play tunnel that will be in the park for the kids. So Brent Belcher is here, can answer any questions. I think this project's come along pretty good, Brent, and we're very fortunate to be partners with United Way and get this really cool project going and hopefully finish pretty soon.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel. We're grateful for United Way's continued vision and investment into our park and community, and this one has significant meaning to the city of Bowling Green because Jennings Creek and the Creekwood Apartments were significantly hit in that storm, and rebuilding that is something that is special, and our Greenway is back there, and if you haven't been back there as a community, the vision that Cameron has showed us, Levis, it is going to be something special, and so we're excited about that expansion behind our schools, and it's also accessible to 2 schools that are located right there where children can go with their teacher and learn about nature in their backyard. So incredible. Commissioners?
It's a beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful.
So excited that we finally have a rendering of potentially what it could look like. I don't know if Cameron or Brent or anyone could come and just sort of describe where we're seeing it, maybe orient. I was trying to find the bridge to kind of know where exactly this is in my mind.
Yeah, so when you cross the bridge, I think a lot of you all were there when we did the groundbreaking or the ribbon cutting for the outdoor classroom. Yes. So that outdoor classroom, when you're looking at it, the playscape is to the left of it. So the green space, when you're looking at the outdoor classroom and looking towards the creek, it's all the space to the left of that outdoor classroom. So if you're standing on the Greenway path, basically facing the schools, it's going to be to the left of that outdoor classroom that's already there.
So on the very right-hand side of the map is that kind of like rock formation, that way it's already there?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
and
yep,
then
yep.
the rest of it kind of flows?
Yeah, so at least the picture, I think it's the same
Yeah.
picture you'll have. So like right here on the edge of the picture is the outdoor classroom. So then everything else to the left is new. Moving towards Creekwood.
Elementary school, left side.
On the right, actually. So,
Okay, I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
no.
yeah. If you're looking at this map,
Looking at from the neighborhood.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So looking at that outdoor classroom, if you were to walk basically out of the picture to the right, you're going back towards the bridge and towards the school. So,
And can you explain kind of some of these different areas that kids
Yeah.
can play and what they can do on these things?
yeah, absolutely. So basically the whole design that we kind of presented to MKSK, and then when they came back and basically took our vision and put it on paper, was to take a new path that kind of meanders back into this little nook. And then along that path, there's different pods of play. So it could be log play, it could be a log climber with some nets on it, a swing apparatus, if you will. There's the tunnel that we talked about. There's different mound slides. So all kinds of stuff that you can play on. The path itself is fully accessible. That was really important to us, of course, to make that paved so that even at the very least, a person who has a disability can experience the space. And then we try to make the play elements as accessible as possible, of course. But yeah, it's just, experiencing the creek, experiencing the trees, the shade, and just being in nature. So that was also strategic with United Way. Of course, their Born Learning Trails are implemented in a lot of our parks. So we're creating a unique Born Learning Trail more than, if you've seen any of those at Kariakis, Preston Miller, they're at many of our parks, Roland Bland. A lot of times it's a hopscotch with colored shapes painted on the ground. With this, what we wanted to do was take that pod of play, if you will, and make it part of that Born Learning Trail. So this will be a Born Learning Trail that we've not seen in our community, and we're using those play areas to kind of facilitate that. So hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you for helping it come alive a little bit for
Yeah.
our community who might be listening, and it's just so exciting. And do we have timeline at all around?
Yeah, so ultimately our goal is hopefully October-ish, to try to have something, usable in the space. So we're moving very quickly. I want to publicly thank Daniel Coulter from Public Works. He's been doing a lot of the project management on this in the spring with some of us in and out with different things going on. So he's been instrumental in kind of moving the ball with communicating with playground companies and construction companies and trying to, take these materials. The estimate that we got originally from MKSK was to do everything was phased into 2 phases because it was around $500,000, and at the time we only had $300,000 to go towards it, and we really kind of took that like a grocery list and tried to figure out how can we acquire certain things or do work internally to try to get that cost down. And now with this investment of another 150, bringing it to 450,000 total for the playscape, we think we can accomplish most of what MKSK had in the original design, which is awesome. So we shouldn't have to phase anything, which is really cool. And I want to publicly thank, of course, United Way, Debbie and Ellie, just for their belief in the vision for the project and wanting to invest in it. So.
Yeah, this is exactly the type of partnership you want in a community. This nonprofit and local government making this incredible impact for generations to come. I just can't thank you all and United Way enough for creating this incredible playground and learning and just healing experience for this neighborhood who has been through so much, and just super excited for the schools and the kids and all the families. So thank you all so much.
Parks is definitely a refuge, and I think this is going to be an example of that. So it's going to be really cool. Yeah.
Or everything that where can the public actually see it?
Yeah, we've not really released them publicly, but we do have a couple other pictures too. So I guess we can work on getting those uploaded somewhere or a way of showing those. There's going to be an article at some point that's going to come out. I don't know what issue that we've written kind of collectively for the National Recreation and Park Association National Magazine. And some of those renderings I think are going to be in there as well. But we can figure out a way to put them on the website or on the park's website somehow.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, questions?
Great, thank you, Cameron. Thank you, United Way. Grateful for your partnership. No further questions? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2024-11, second reading, binding.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 4 Alcoholic Beverage Control of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances related to restrictions on packaged liquor license.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. We all agreed on this as 5 of us on the board to approve this, unless there's any further questions. None. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-116.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of an application for Kentucky Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Single-Family Housing Funding to the Kentucky Department for Local Government in an amount up to $5 million.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
Would like to apply for more of the $100 million of the CDBG-DR funding that the state received. This would be for affordable single-family housing. And, excuse me, sorry. We are requesting that we partner with Habitat for Humanity. Mr. Rod Goodman is here with us tonight. They are in the process of acquiring some property. They've been so successful at Durbin Estates, they've run out of land, and they need the next plot of land to go to work. And so Nick and Brent Childers have been talking with them, and we feel like if we can go after this funding, we could turn them loose on a new development off Russellville Road that would eventually be comprised of 116 new homes and a community center. 70% would be single-family detached. There'd be 30% roughly twin homes. They'd have a mix of 2, 3, and 4-bedroom homes out there. And Habitat for Humanity would plan to invest approximately $8.8 million for the initial 59 homes during Phase 1. And this grant, this CDBG-DR funding of $5 million would sure really help this project. And I believe, Nick can correct me if I'm wrong, but the remaining $500,000 of ARPA money pledged, that you all pledged for affordable, attainable housing would be put to use in this project as well. Is that correct, Nick? Or am I wrong on that? There's been so many of these, I can't keep them all straight.
Oh, but I can definitely
Sorry,
see
thank
I
you.
can definitely see the confusion
Okay.
because we have another CDBG DR project that's actually been awarded
Spoiler alert, sorry.
for Habitat to build, I believe, 6 houses at Durbin Estates, and then for Live the Dream to build a couple of duplexes at Old Barren River Road. So the remaining $500,000 of ARPA funds would actually build, I believe, additional duplex over there at Old Barren River.
Apologize. Thank you for the correction.
It's incredible
Still-
what's going on.
still good news.
It's still great news. Our investments are bringing more investments and fruition to more
Sorry,
housing.
Rod, I double dipped on you. I didn't mean to do that, so, yeah, so. I'm gonna have to pull that second one back, so.
And just to clarify too, this is on top of what we just talked about, all this money coming. This
Yes.
is not a part of that. This is on top of that. So that's just so exciting about really making a dent in making not only just affordable housing and multi-family housing, but chances for families to own a home is so exciting because as we're seeing the rates of rental go up and fewer people being able to afford to have that American dream of owning their home. This is such an important part of keeping our community affordable and making it possible for people to move through that from renting to home ownership. So this is so exciting to add that to the other big announcement. This is huge, and I'm just so grateful to partnering with you all at Habitat and what you all are doing to provide these opportunities to change lives.
I want to ditto that, but let me ask you this. When will you guys get started, and how soon could it be completed? What's the timeline?
45 days ago, we didn't know it was an option. So I do want to say, before I answer your question, I do want to say I get to work with habitats from all over the country. And the relationship that the city has to nonprofits and to building affordable housing, it doesn't exist very many other places. I was talking to a friend of mine from San Francisco and said, how long does it take you from the time you apply for a building permit until you get to put a shovel in the dirt? She said, if everything goes well, 3 years. And she said, how long does it take you? I said, well, if everything goes sideways, 5 days. And so, but we've talked a lot about Nick tonight, but what Nick and Brent are doing at Neighborhood Community Services and the way they're supporting this work and the effort they're putting in is absolutely amazing, and we're grateful for it. Our plan is with this grant, and Nick can correct me, but we would have to get started pretty quickly. There would be some environmental work and other things that have to be done, but it would probably take about 2 years to get the infrastructure in, and we have a total of 6 years to build the initial phase 1 of houses, which we couldn't have done. You guys have set us up to be in a position to be able to do this and to prove that we could do this. We built 100 houses in our first 33 years. By the end of this year, we will have built 31 houses in the last 3 years, and we're looking to get to 200 pretty quickly. So we appreciate everything you guys are doing to help us with that.
Rod, appreciate Habitat and Humanity, your vision, the Durban Estates. If anyone goes by Durban Estates, those houses are owned by owners that love to live in their homes. Well done.
And we just completed a tornado shelter for 250 people that's been used twice since we got the certificate of occupancy on it there. So we hope that's the first thing we build in this new subdivision too.
Well, we appreciate your vision beyond, I think.
I just want to ditto what the mayor said. Thank you so much for everything you do for the community, and I'm so thankful the city has a partnership with you. Thank you. We couldn't do it without you.
We are certainly glad to have you guys as partners. Yeah, thank you all.
This thing passed. All right. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Okay. Mrs. Jackson is checking for public comments. Our next scheduled meeting will be June 18th, 2024, and I'd be remiss. Public, we actually have Duncan Hines Days going on, started yesterday. We have Sam Bush Friday night, free concert out at Saturday nights. Come early. Saturday night at Circus on the Square. It's going to be epic, free to the public, and everybody's going to be there. Okay, at this time, Mr. William Stinson, you can come up to the podium and I will give you, you have up to 5 minutes, sir, to speak what you'd like, and we'll welcome you.
Council members, good evening. You guys are really nice and really organized, and I like that. My name is W.T. Stinson. I'm a local artist, former art instructor, and I'm here to talk about residential speeding, which it's my understanding it occurs all over Bowling Green, but in particular, these cut-through roads are a little more dangerous in particular. I live on Sunrise Drive, and it's a cut-through between Old Morgantown and New Morgantown Road. And the speed limit on Sunrise is 25 miles per hour, and I've seen people blast through there in excess of like 45 to 50 miles per hour. It's a straight road. It's got some rolling hills, and because it's straight and you can see the end, I think it, kind of begs people to go a little bit faster than they should. But also, another problem there are 2 speed limit signs at each, there's one at each entrance. One is completely covered by bushes, and the other one is visible, but both are, the graphics are, it's a white sign with black lettering, which does not stand out at all. Anybody would blast by those things. So 25 miles per hour, they're zipping through there. It's dangerous for animals, it's dangerous for kids, it'd be dangerous for anybody zipping through a neighborhood that fast. So the street's about a half mile long. Talked about the hills and the signs. Now, I know that the solutions that are off the table, I talked to Mr. Souza about that. So like speed bumps, I know they're out. It's hindrance to ambulances and law enforcement. Rumblers are out because they rumble. Changing the shape of the road isn't going to happen. It's an old established neighborhood, so you can't go in and put curves in the street. And cameras aren't allowed due to a short-sighted state law that doesn't allow cameras. So I have a list of possible improvements, but these aren't actual solutions, but they could help. First of all, visible signs in that yellow fluorescent background that are also reflective for nighttime driving to catch attention. Blinking lights would be nice, but I know that those aren't really cost effective. Western has a couple of them, but that's why tuition is so high. You could do something like double fines in an area like that, or something like you do for school zones. I don't know, there's probably a rule against that, but it would be something to consider to get people to stop. Law enforcement presence, like once every couple of weeks, they can park in my driveway and hide, and I'll provide them with refreshments if they want. I also have a example graphic. I used to work for the state of Florida, and I was the manager for state facility signage, and I know signs are not the answer to everything, but if you work for the state of Florida, they thought that they were, but I had to, sort of pull them back a little bit. It's like, no, we can probably work this out another way. Signage helps, good signage. So I have an example and some specifications to think about, and I know this isn't just a problem with Sunrise, but it's a cut-through road, and I think they deserve a little more attention. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Stinson.
Yeah,
If you want to submit those to us, I'll put it with your information.
Okay.
and,
Thank
we'll
you.
take it. Thank you for your input. Okay, Mr. Stinson's the last one to speak, and at this time, we are adjourned. Thank you.